everyone. I hope you're doing well. In these difficult, challenging, turbulent, and unprecedented times across the globe, I wanted to share with you one very important topic. The topic, as the title of this video says, the topic about our Creator and us people as the God children, and that like a God we are creators, and that all our creations are in our hands. The other day I watched a very amusing and actually excellent comedy for the second time with a religious background. It's a movie called Bruce Almighty, starring Jim Carrey, that really made me thinking seriously about very important question. What would I do if I were God for a day? Well, basically the storyline of this movie is the following. The main character, Bruce Nolan, is a fairly dissatisfied man. He is unhappy and dissatisfied with his life, with his job as a TV reporter, and who one day, under strange circumstances, when he met God, he complained to God that he's not happy, that he would like to change his job to impress his girlfriend, and so on and so forth. And God offered to Bruce the chance of try being God himself for 1 week. Initially, Bruce was jubilant with all the powers that God gave him and using these powers for his personal gains. Nevertheless, one day Bruce was hit by a truck, and he ended at a hospital, and he regains after many days his consciousness, and God appeared to him again, and he asked Bruce what he really wants. To make a story short, Bruce asked God to make his life as it was before he met God, because in the meantime and after that accident, he learned very important lessons. Well, the film raises some very important questions, and the answers to these questions that the main character in this movie faced himself. And it made me thinking also always over and over again the importance of the truth, because the truth is one and only. If I could be a God for 1 week, what would I do? What would you do if you were God for 1 day? Who would you help? How would you handle this awesome responsibility? Well, I will provide you with some of possible answers as far as I am concerned. I believe that our Creator, God, has endowed us, each and every one of us, with a divine spark and a piece of Himself, which we usually refer to that piece as our soul, right? And this divine spark is our true identity. It is our own body and the personality that comes with the soul. And merely is this soul, human soul, is merely the vehicles through which we experience ourselves. Our bodies are human, but our souls are divine, and from a soul perspective, we have actually the same attributes as God Himself. We are made in His image. So we have a free choice. In truth, only God can have a free choice. Because to have a truly free choice, you have to be above any influence that may sway you to choose one path or the other. If I choose something out of peer pressure, of ignorance, or a habit, I'm not making a free choice. And God alone is above any influence. From a body perspective, a human being is influenced by many things, is influenced by an environment, by education, by genetics, by daily mood swings, by the ongoing pandemics, and so on and so forth. And what does it mean? Well, it means that actually we aren't truly free in our choices. And as far as the science is concerned, humans are essentially machines that can make predictable choices based on an external and internal influences. But that's only according to the nature. From a spiritual perspective, nevertheless, we aren't one-dimensional creature, because God has given us a piece of Himself. He gave us a soul, and that is the core essence of a human being that is above any influence. So our soul allows us to rise above even our own nature and be free to choose. So, like God, we have a free choice, and our destiny is in our hands. We are creators. And apart from the fact that we can invent, we can build, we can even reproduce, by the way, also animals can reproduce themselves. And as I said, in our essence, we humans are creators. Every action we do every day not only affects us, but it affects the world around us and also creates a new spiritual forces. So, what do I mean? But I mean, when we perform an act of kindness, of chesed, of goodness, we create a good angel. We create a positive energy around us. On the other hand, when we act selfishly, arrogantly, destructively, we create a bad angel, a negative energy. So, my dear friends, throughout our lifetimes, we accumulate legions of these creatures, good and bad angels, that are our own creations, and they hover our souls. The negative energy can be destroyed, that's true, and even be transformed to the goodness. But how? Well, if we regret the evil we have done in the past, if we learn lessons, if we forgive. These angels are ours, and we decide about their fate. Like a God, as I said, we are creators, and our creations are only in our hands. We can influence the direction of the entire world. The soul power is unlimited, because my thoughts, my words, my actions can push the entire world towards its ultimate purpose or delay the realization of that purpose. One should see the world as actually a balance between good and evil. And my next move will determine which way the scales are tipped. Will I bring more pain? Will I bring more corruption, more sorrow into the world? Or with my thoughts, words, and action, the Holy Trinity, I will create and promote peace, harmony, happiness. So it's up to you. So just like a God, we have a free choice. I explained you under what circumstances we have or we have not free choice. We create and control our creations and the destiny, my dear friends, of the entire world. So God did not have to give us such a power of a free choice and to create, but God took a gamble actually. He placed the world in our hearts and in us. He invested his very self because God trusts us to do a good job. So the question is not what would you do if you were God for a day. The question is rather, God has given you all this unlimited power. What's your next move? So, what's your next move? I'm Amira, and let's stay in touch. Thank you for following my YouTube channel. Let's keep in touch.